here. And while Marth is one of those characters that when he's patient, he's not really doing anything. Like, and that can kind of get to you and be like, oh, I want to go in and I want to hit things. But like, if you wait and you know you're waiting, like that is so much more advantageous because Marth is such a beast when you know where they're going to be. Like, Marth is never more dangerous than after a hit confirm, in my opinion. And I think he's one of the scariest hit confirm characters. Is the moment he lands that forward air, you're like, all right, well, now I got to change up my DI. I got to change. You change how you play against Marth the second you start taking hits from Marth. And, like, he has so many great tools. So, yeah, he definitely needs to do that. Larson's on here, cheered for his Wario, brah. Got Apples playing against Zygo. Can you help me so we can get this set up, change this forward board up? Here, I'll get out of your way here. And if you could also change commentary. Where do I have to go for these? Oh, it's just like a double click. Sorry, guys in the chat. We're trying to figure out the rest of this. So that time to learn the Olimar matchup. Well, we're also going to talk about it, Mr. Larson. So enjoy. So I was actually got talking about this a little bit last time this was happening, or this matchup occurred, but I was mostly just talking about Apples and how Wario works as a character. But in this matchup, like, Olimar's got some nice movement options, and like, his short hop is great, his aerials cover a lot of space. And so I think between these two, like, I don't actually know what the percentage would be between the two of them, but I think Wario takes this, to be honest. Wario is, honestly, in my opinion, one of the best characters in the game. It comes down to knowing how to move with him and knowing when to go committal and when not to go committal, because Wario is definitely one of the least committal characters I've found. You can just, like, oh, nice use of the fart right there, that was good. He can just weave in and out, and as I was talking about, like, literally all of Wario's stats in terms of his jumps, aerial movement, ground movement, all that good stuff, he's probably the best movement-based character in the game. His down air forces movement, his forward B forces movement, all of these cause a hitbox, his down B forces movement, like, almost all of his options are movement-based. So if you're moving and you like to move, Wario's a character for you. Whereas Olimar is like, similar but patient in terms of, like, how he comes in. He's non-committal as well. A lot of what he does is, like, really, really simple, or I shouldn't say simple, it's just like, it's safe in the sense that, like, you throw out a Pikmin and you don't really miss it. You don't really lose anything if you think about it. You got, like, Pikmin, my bad.
Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, my bad. But it's just, like, so non-committal, and when he swings with his aerials, as I was saying, like, it's super disjointed and disembodied, and he's using the Pikmin in the first place. So I think, like...
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
There you go, Chevy. What you're talking about right now just cost Apples his stock, because he double jumped to get to the platform, and Zygo knocked him out of that and killed him.
Yeah. He's got to think about that approach. Or, sorry, he was recovering. See, and then the Pikmin just sticks on his head. So, like, if you throw the Pikmin and it lands on him, it's like, oh my gosh, you Olimar players must, like, really feel good, and not in the sense of, like, oh, you must feel good. It's just like, no, it's just like, cool, I got that. Like, it's free continuous damage until I do something about it. Like, yeah. So it's like there are all these little advantages that the Pikmin really do have, but we haven't really had, like, this is why I'm excited that Smash Bros. PM has finally stopped development in a certain sense, is that, like, now that we have this preset, like, okay, this is not changing. We get people who are really going to try and figure these characters out and really get experimental with them. So, like, I'm excited to see this new age of Samus players like Chevy. I'm excited to see newer Ivysaur players. I'm excited to see Olimar players, because we're going to see some, like, actually good players now, instead of people who are just like, oh, dude, check out this gimmick, you know. Yeah,
It's good.
yeah, it was.
Are you still in?
I am still in. Yeah, he's got to come up and, like, screen him. And he can nair him away too. So, like, it's a lot about Wario's choice to approach, because I wouldn't approach Wario as an Olimar player. Most of the time, honestly, if I'm an Olimar player, I'm not going to approach you. I wouldn't approach you unless I'm like looking for the grab, because grab is super useful. But yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to like this age of PM Smash, because we're going to see some really interesting stuff out of some really interesting players. Oh, Game & Watch, that was one of the things I was talking about as well. Is like, you know. Oh, I think it's kind of died down a little bit, but there was so much stigma against Game & Watch and yada yada.
Just because it's Aussie one,
yeah,
the matchup.
Yeah, and like people were getting so frustrated about the matchup instead of learning it and just like kind of sucking it up and being like, well, he's a character, I got to deal with it now, you know.
Oh, he's still awful to play against.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm not denying that.
He's still hard, but like,
but
I mean,
he's
Fox
not
is hard.
broken like people thought.
Yeah, he's definitely not. And yeah, like I'm excited to see when the Olimar, like, that is completely gone. That has completely been phased out. And then the people who are, I'm sorry, not sticking with Olimar. And then the people who stick with Game & Watch are going to start getting really creative, because people, you're not going to be able to do the same thing over and over again. You're not going to get away with the same stuff over and over again, because people will have figured it out by now. So I'm quite excited to see how the Smash community gets bigger. Okay, that was
sick.
Quite the turnaround. So that was a purple Pikmin toss. Am I correct with that? And then it knocked him, stage spiked him out.
It was a fair.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So he tossed the purple Pikmin, it hit him against the wall, and then he faired him. Okay.
Chevy, you haven't lost a tournament yet because Chip hasn't played.
Chip hasn't played PM with him yet?
Unless I'm mistaken.
I thought Chip was at the first Black Wolf.
I don't know. I'm just trash talking.
Okay. Now that he's not here. Punk, where'd you go? I miss you.
Chevy's a noob.
It's true. I mean, Chevy's pretty bad at this game, but we gotta give props to people who at least try. It's true. Like, Samus is one of those characters where I'm like, dude, she has too many tools. She is so good. But it's also like, dude, you actually gotta know how to use the tools too. You can't just bullshit it the entire time. People get a lot better at dealing with it. So I feel like there are characters that are like kind of broken in Smash, but then I'm also like, I mean, that's always what we thought about Fox. That's always what we thought about Falco, but we got plenty of other characters that got up there too. And even when we thought it was all done with Marth and Falcon, like, you know, we got Armada who showed us Peach, and we got Hitbox and Mango who showed us Jigglypuff, and it's just like, no, like all these characters can get by. We just need people who are like smart enough and, you know, creative enough and driven enough to figure these characters out. And Drive is definitely going to do a lot, let me tell you. I mean, how else did we learn that Dr. Mario has like an up B cancel on the ground? I mean, like, that's not from mistakes. That's not like a super gimmick. That is a one-frame movement, and like, it ain't easy. And that's still really cool, but we don't see like Dr. Mario players doing it all the time and that kind of thing. So it's like,
does Anon actually use V canceling?
Anona, sorry?
V canceling? Does Anon even use that?
What is V? I know Y canceling now, but I don't know V canceling.
V canceling, people discovered it in Melee recently. It's like pressing a shield when you get hit.
Oh, right. Vector canceling. Yeah, I remember that. I had always kind of thought that was a thing, but I was never sure, like because of all the hidden mechanics. I try and do it every single time. Anytime that I know I'm going to be hit, I'm holding shield, which is not always the best thing in the world, but 5% knockbox reduction. I mean, how could you say no to that? And that's going to get me. That was good.
This is the close game.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Wait, who won the first game?
Dude, it's tied up 1-1. Can you update that for us, Joe?
Because I could have sworn that Apples won the first match.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought Zygo won the first match, and then Apples won the second. Yeah, oof. I don't think Zygo's very happy about that. Oh, man.